Miss Stutz here, and for this video we're going to be talking about subtracting improper fractions. And so we are going to go ahead and follow those same steps that we did in the last video I did, where we were just subtracting fractions, or like proper fractions, right? And so for this we will go with an example here, and I will start with 10/5 minus let's say 3/5. Okay. For this example, we're always going to check to see if we have common denominators. In this case we do, so our denominator is going to stay the same, and then we're going to subtract across the top. 10 minus 3, which would equal 7. Now anytime that we have an improper fraction as our answer, we are always going to look at this fraction as a division problem. So we're going to look at this as 7 divided by 5. And really what we're doing is we're going to turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. And so 7 divided by 5, we're going to do that here. 5 goes into 7 just one time. 1 times 5 is 5. We will subtract, and we get 2. Okay, and so for this here, we now have our division problem done, but how do we turn this division problem into a mixed number? Well, our whole number is going to be the total amount of times that the number goes into it. So our total amount of times is 1. Our remainder is going to be our numerator, so 2. And then our denominator is going to be our divisor, which is 5. I tell the students too, our denominator is going to match our common denominator that we found. So if they have a hard time figuring out which one of these two numbers is going to go on top, which one's going to go on bottom, think about our common denominator that we found. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves, can we simplify this fraction here in the mixed number? And we cannot, so this answer here is in simplest form. Good. All right, let's do another example. Let's do 4 thirds minus 2/5. All right, so in this problem, I do not have common denominators, so I need to ask myself, how can I make both of these numbers the same? What number are both of these going to go into? And I know that if I multiply them by each other, they will both go into 15, so 3 times 5 and 5 times 3. Anything that we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top, so I'm also going to times this by 3, and I'm also going to times this by 5. My problem, my fractions really, turns into 5 times 4 is 20, 3 times 5 is 15, minus 2 times 3, which is 6, 5 times 3, which is 15. So now my problem turns into this here. We've got 20/15 minus 6/15. Well, got a common denominator, great. So we're going to subtract across the top 20 minus 6, which is 14. And then we're going to keep our denominator the same. In this case, I do not have an improper fraction as my answer, so my smaller number's on top. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep this as our final answer. Very good. If you have any additional questions on subtracting improper fractions or changing an improper fraction into a mixed number, please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.